Okay, folks, listen, this is a live stream and I'm going to be interacting with the viewers and I'm going to explain why, again, having to tell you that next year is the year for the Seattle event. Okay, like I told you, I did not know the year. All I know is the players involved, the dates, and where these events are going to happen. Okay, because 100% it is going to happen. It is going to come to fruition. Okay, and this isn't like a fly-by-night prediction, folks. I'm trying to make you guys understand this. Let me tell you the difference between somebody who's being led by the Holy Spirit and somebody who's just talking nonsense. Okay, there is millions of people all over the YouTube, and when I say million, whatever, thousands if you want to say, okay, that make predictions. Okay, and when their predictions don't come true, what do? They either change their predictions, they change the dates, the places, what it involves. They change everything. But notice that I've never changed it because I told you it is from the Holy Spirit and it's never going to change, okay? It has to happen on those dates and it has to happen in those places that I'm telling you, okay? Because I told you I am relentless when it comes to the truth, all right? And that is why I would never give up, all right? And that's why God chose me, because this was my destiny to break the matrix. And when I say the matrix, I'm talking about Elvis and Trump's matrix, okay? Because Elvis is the Antichrist and Trump is going to make sure that Elvis is worshipped, okay? Because Elvis is the unseen Antichrist, Trump is the Antichrist in the flesh, okay? Now, and of course, Obama is there to make sure also that Elvis is worshipped, okay? Because, you have two sides of the people, people who love Obama, people who love Trump. So that's why you needed, a duality with that, But Elvis is the umbilical cord that holds those two together. Obama and Trump. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the encouraging words, honey. Anyway, I'm talking to my wife there. But anyway, listen. So, again, I'm going to explain that Elvis and Trump need me to lose my crown, okay? Because I'm telling you, I have a crown in heaven, and not just a regular crown, folks. We're talking about the triple crown, okay? The triple crown, all right? And I'm not going to explain it here, but there is a crown up for grabs, and that crown is mine. And that's why Elvis and Trump need me to not endure to the end, but I'm going to endure to the end, and they're going to lose, okay? And like I said, all those people who are laughing at me, you can laugh all you want, but you better use your brain, okay? Because if you know that I have common sense, and because if you look at all the things I've discovered, okay? Because like I said, from birth, this was my destiny. If you look at how I discovered the hoax codes and all their fake news videos, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it was the King Man Sun Code, okay? Now, when I discovered those hoax codes in their fake news videos, it led me to this, okay? Because everything was leading me to my destiny, which is what I'm doing now, okay? And now I forgot what I was saying. This is what happens when you're doing a live stream, man. You get one little thing, distracts you and you forget what you were going to talk about. Anyway, like I said, I was talking about common sense. Now, if you know I have common sense with all those things, okay? Like I can tell you that the earth is not a spinning ball hurling through an endless space. Of course, there's all these fake news that they do. If you know that I have that kind of common sense, why do you think that I would be a glutton for punishment and want to um, uh, ruin my reputation and humiliate myself year after year because I know that these events are going to happen and it's going to come to fruition. And all the people who are laughing, you are not going to be laughing, folks. You are going to be crying on your knees and asking God for forgiveness uh, for not only mocking me, okay? Hold on. But you're not only mocking me because I warned you, okay? I warned you over and over again, all right? Because you have to use common sense. Do you really believe that there is coincidences like this? It's impossible, folks. And you, like I said, that's why I know that this is not just supernatural coincidences. This is uh, absolutely 100% scripted, okay, what they're doing, and it's going to come to fruition, and you can't stop it because the Bible tells you what they're going to do, okay? And the Bible has to be 100% accurate, okay? And it's going to come to fruition whether you like it or not, okay? Anyway, like I said, if you know that I have common sense in everything else that I talk about, why would you think that I would keep doing this if I didn't know it was going to happen? All right. And I told you that my full name with Donald John Trump, and Elvis Aaron Presley, which I didn't even know when I made the predictions, that it equals 611, our three names together. If you don't understand that that's just one out of 1,000 coincidences, coincidences that I've connected here. Okay. And if you knew everything about me, you know that why they need me. Okay. Because I'm telling you, I am the Neo character. Okay. Keanu Reeves was born in Beirut, Lebanon. I was born in Beirut, Lebanon. We were born in the same hospital. And what I'm trying to say is that were they not going after Neo? They needed Neo. Okay? That's what I'm trying to make you understand. That's why Trump and Elvis need me. Okay? Because I hold the key and I have the crown. Do you understand? And they're not going to take it from me. So you guys can laugh all you want. And I'm going to tell you again what it represents, okay, this crown. Like I said, Jesus is God. Jesus was the crown of the Father. He was the Lamb of the Father. He was the Lamb of God, right? And now Jesus, who is God, who is the Son of God, but he's God in heaven, he's going to have a lamb, and I am the Lamb of the Lamb, okay? But of course, I am not part of the Godhead, folks. Don't even think that. I'm just a crown, okay? But I'm the triple crown. So understand that. Now you can say whatever you want, and you'll understand it when it comes all to fruition, okay? That's all I have to say for the people who want to stick around. You can stick around. This isn't, like I said, this is no joke, all right? You can, for the people who want to laugh and do all that stuff, you can laugh. You can mock now, but you won't be laughing. You won't be laughing in the near future, okay? No, I know. I'm explaining it. People are saying, why, you don't have to, because we believe you. No, I'm doing that because for the people, because look, let me explain something to you. If someone came up to me, that's funny. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway, let me tell you something, because there are people out there, because I would feel the same way. If I just came to a channel and this dude someone like me was saying that, I would say, oh, this dude's a lunatic. You know what I mean? If you don't watch the videos, you're not going to understand. All right. So that's why I'm trying to make them understand that to take this seriously. Okay. Because if they hear, oh, he made a prediction and it didn't come true, So, don't listen to him. They're going to regret it. Okay? And I don't want them to regret. Okay? I want them to get that way they don't have all that pain, because that's what's waiting for them. All right, especially those reprobate trolls, you know what I mean, who've been trolling me for I don't know how long now. Look, all I'm going to tell you is that I have a crown. That's all it is. And it is like I said, I am the lamb of the Lamb of God. Okay, that's all I can tell you. All right, that's all I can tell you. Yeah, I don't, man, listen, I'm going to answer your question one last time, JB. Listen, okay? I already told you, whether it's before the tribulation or after tribulation, it doesn't, or during the tribulation, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you endure to whatever the end is, okay? What does that mean? It means to me not to take the mark, not bow down to the beast, and not worship the beast, whatever you want to call it. That's all that matters, okay? Be prepared for whatever God has in store for you, okay? And if you believe in God with all your heart and soul, and you believe the gospel, you believe that he rose from the dead, and he died on the cross and rose from the dead, you understand that whatever it is God has plans for you, that is it, okay? That's it. Why do we have to guess all that? It's like me saying when God's going to return. I don't know that day. All I know is that once the beast is revealed, you know that time is short and the return of Christ is near. That's all we know, you know. Anyway. Yeah, that the Trump head wound on August 4th in Ohio is still up. 99, again, I say it's 100% his head wound this year. But could it not happen and happen next year? Yes. All right. But the point I'm trying to make is it has to happen before the next president takes office, because it just doesn't make any sense if it happens after, because then it just none of it corresponds, the events. It just doesn't make any sense then. Hold on. My chat stopped. Give me a second, bro. Hold on one second. Okay, where am I here? I'm just reading the chat, Bugs. Hold on. Anyway, so again, what I'm trying to tell you again about let me show you why. Now that I've talked about that real quick, let me show you why I've been saying this all along. I showed this even, I don't know, a few years back, but I'm not going to show all those connections right now, but why Elvis needs the 9. But first, let me just show you this real quick. Okay. So remember, if you add, because Elvis was born on 1/8, Okay, and Elvis needs the 9. I'm trying to explain this to you. So if you add up all the numbers between 1 through 8, you get 36. And you know that if you add up all the numbers between 1 and 36, you get 666, okay? And also 3 sixes, right there. But add up all the numbers between 1 through 8, because Elvis was born on 1/8, it equals 36. If you add up all the numbers between 1 through 9, you get 45. See, that's what the key is here. Because the key is not only the 1/9, because the 19, because that's the 19 crown, which I'll explain in a moment, but also 945, the 9 to the 4, the 9 to the 5. Okay, and I'll explain that in a moment. But I wish I could go through all of it again with you, because it's so incredible. All right, but Elvis needs the 9. So I was telling you that the 1/9 is like the 19, right? And by the way, I told you that Elvis has the L in his name, right? El means God in Hebrew, and I told you that the number 37 or 73 looks like the letters El if you turned it backwards, right? And remember, Elvis was born on 1/8, and he needs the 1/9. Look, 18 and 19 equals 37. You see what I'm saying? All right. And of course, you have the 8/9, because next year Elvis turns 89 in the year 24. The 24th prime number is 89. All right. Now, also why he needs the 89. Okay. Pay attention. And what are the numbers here? 8, 9, 1, 1. 11 and 89. What is 11 and 89? It is 100, right? 11 and 89. Elvis, his name, pay attention. Hold on, let me look at the chat rooms. Hold on. No, it's not gonna. It has to happen on June 11th, folks. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying about the, I was showing you that. Hold on, let me say it again. That you have the 8 and 9 right here, and you have the 1, 1. 89 plus 11 equals 100, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm not playing games with people anymore. You're out of here. Okay, so anyway, anyone else want a joke? Anyone else want a joke? Because I'm gonna get rid of you. I told you I'm not playing games with anybody. All right, listen. So Elvis, his name equals 67, 22, and it ends with 89. Okay? And look, it ends with 100 right here, his backwards numbers. This is the backwards numbers. 89 plus 11 equals 100. See? What's in between 89 and 11? I mean, what's in between 89 and 100 is 11. Okay? And what is in between 67 and 22? The 45. Okay, so the 45 was very important, all right? Because Trump is the 45th president, like I said. And that's why I was saying he needs the 1/9, the 19, right? And 1819 equals 37, which is the EL. Okay. And then, like I said, Elvis ends with the 89. And then it ends with 100, because 89 plus 11 is 100. And that's why you have 8, 9, and 1, 1. 89 plus 11, get it? And it has the EL connection, the 37. But anyway, Elvis needs the 9, okay? Elvis needs the 9, and it's 1, 9. You notice that. 1 through 9 equals 45. And the 19 crown, that's what that whole 19 crown was all about, because corona means crown. The corona 19, that's what this whole thing was about, because where was the first case in America? It was in Seattle. Where was the first death? In King County, where Seattle is. Seattle's in King County. Okay? And where was the first outbreak? In King County. Okay? Because Elvis was known as the king, and Seattle's in King County, and that's why Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee. When I say killed, he was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. Okay, everything is connected to Elvis. Okay, the Twin Towers fell for Elvis because Elvis's identical twin died of birth. It's all about the twins. Okay, and that's why Trump is the replacement twin. Okay, now, and I was telling you that Elvis needs the 19, right? The 1-9, because Lucifer in heaven, Jesus created Lucifer, and when Jesus created Lucifer, he made him perfect, except for the free will part. They had to give free will. Free will is what destroyed. Hold on. Anyway, free will is what messed up Lucifer, okay? And that's what messes up humans. We have free will to go against God, or to go and do what God tells you. Now, so when Lucifer was created, Jesus created Lucifer. He gave him a perfect name, and his name, Lucifer, equaled 74. Jesus equals 74, and he gave Lucifer a perfect name, right? And it equaled 74. And Lucifer, after he got kicked out of heaven, he lost his name. He became Satan. And I told you Lucifer equals 74, Satan equals 55. So he lost 19. He lost his 19 crown. And that's why the Corona 19, the crown, Corona means crown in Spanish, crown 19. That's why it had to do with Seattle, because that's where the EL state is. L state, where L will be birth. And I told you L birth equals Lucifer in Gematria. Do you understand? And Seattle anagram is L state, the EL state. L this is going to be L birth out of the C in Seattle. Okay? Now, hold on. Hold on. No, I don't think they changed the plan. No, it whatever the year was that they were going to choose, that is the year. But the date has to stay the same. It has to be on 6/11. Okay. Now I'm talking about the Seattle event. The Trump head wound is in Ohio on August 4th, but the Seattle is 6/11. Now look, so. So that's why he needed the 19 crown. That's what this whole 19 crown ritual was about. And notice that around that same time, you had that Black Lives Matter stuff. And lives equals Elvis, the anagram. Lives, lives, evils, whatever, veils, vials, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But my point is that it's all about Elvis trying to get his 19 crown back. He needs that 9. Okay? And man, I'm trying to think of what else was I going to tell you. Okay, so, and I told you that from 1/8 to 6/11, okay, it's either of these numbers. Look, depending on how you look at it. So from Elvis's birthday, if you go forward to 6/11, not counting the day, but up to that day, it's 154 days. And the 154 number is the Antichrist number. So from Elvis's birthday to 6/11, not counting the day, it's 154. If you count the day, it's 155. And then on leap year, it's 156, counting the day. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is it's not perfect from Elvis's birthday, because perfect would be from Elvis's birthday to 611, counting that day, and that's why the 155 is the more perfect number, and the leap year would be the 156, and that's why the 156 prime number was 911, and that's why 911, the ritual for 911 already happened. Now this is just waiting, the 155. Okay, and then what remains? The Antichrist number, the 154. Now, from 19 to 611 is perfect because it's the 154 days. From 19 to 611 is 154 days exactly, counting the day. That's my point. Do you get it now? Because the 19 is the Antichrist connection. Hold on. No, whatever year they had already planned this ahead of time. So obviously it's not so much it's just it has to be on that date, and they already had the year in mind. They didn't move it because of something we said. No, because let me tell you why. Because if you went back 2,000 something years to start from year 0, there is no year 0 on the calculator. It starts from year 1. And that is why, even though you're going into 2024, it's still 223 years. It's 2,200. I mean 2,023 years. It would be up to next year. I mean, what am I saying? Yeah, 2023, right? Wait a minute. My brain's not working. Yeah, it'd be 2023 years if you went back 2,000 years, right? Even though it's 2024, the calculations would read, let's say it's up to 611 next year, right? In 2024, it would be 2023 years, 5 months, 11 days, even though it's 611 the date, okay? Because 611 is 5 months, 11 days into the year. So that's how it works. Okay, so it even connects to the 223, all right? Hold on. I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about the Trump. What? You think he's going to be in jail? I doubt that. No, his head wound has to happen in Ohio. So I don't know anything about what's going to happen to Trump. I'm talking about with this prison thing, or I mean, these indictments. I don't think he'll go to jail, but who knows, you know. Anyway, so okay. Anyway, like I said, Elvis needs the 9, right? Now, why else is, because I was showing you all this stuff, right, with the 19 and all that, and the crown 19 and all that. So even on the clock, I told you 108 on the clock is, because Elvis is born on 1/8 and he needs the 19. Look, on the military time, the clock is 1308, 1309, right? 108, 109. And look, God equals 2617. And look, if you add up the numbers for 108 and 109 is 2617. You see, God equals 2617, the numbers. This is what God equals, and this is the reduced number for God. You see how it connects? And of course, it ends with the 8-9, right? And 1-1, the 11, which I told you already. And, man, I can't remember what else, but hold on. Well, that's the thing. I can't get into all the details on how it connects to me, but Elvis needs the 9. That's all you need to know, okay? And uh, I'll tell you how they're doing it with their rituals in the future videos, but in reality, what they truly need is the key to that unlocks the connection to heaven. And I told you, I am that key that breaks, that has the connection to heaven. I told you that that they want my crown, and that's what I'm trying to explain here. But the rituals are going to, um, uh, they're still going to take place, okay? But in the end, the only way that they could actually gain anything is for them to take my crown. That's all I'm saying to you, which is never going to happen. Uh, Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why you keep. I don't know why you keep asking the same question or same comment you're making. I saw it 10 times already. I already answered it. They didn't move up nothing. I just told you. Whatever their plan was, that was the year that they were going to do it. They don't push anything forward. Okay? These people, when they make a plan, they are going to do it on that day, whether you predict it or not. Okay? I've already answered that question, and you keep putting the same thing up. Please don't put that comment up again, all right? Anyway, okay, so let me keep going with the 9 connection, okay? So, remember, I told you that Jesus created Lucifer. Jesus equals 74, and Lucifer equals 74, right? Um, okay, I'm not going to, you know what? I can't. I see your question again, but I'm not going to, I've already answered the question. I'm not going to tell you again. I don't know what you're trying to get at, but I've already explained to you that they're not going to change nothing for you or for me or for anything. Whatever it was is going to be what it is going to be for them, okay? Anyway, so Jesus equals 74 and Lucifer equals 74, okay? And but their reduced numbers and backwards numbers are not the same. Only that 74 number. So Jesus, which is the most important one, by the way, the first one. So Jesus equals 74, and he gave Lucifer a perfect number because Jesus created Lucifer. Now, so I told you there's a crown waiting. Okay, there's one crown that is about to be had. Okay, that's waiting. Okay, and and I told you that is the crown. That's why they need me, because that's my crown. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. All right, I'm done. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on timeout. You know what? I'm not gonna delete you, but if you want to keep coming at me when I'm just trying to. I've answered everybody's questions a million times in every chat, and so the one time you're not happy with my answer, you're gonna talk back like that, which shows your disrespect. So I just put you on timeout. If you come back at me again, you might as well get your last words in, because it's gonna be I'm gonna delete you. All right. So I don't know why you would want to start when I've been nothing but nice to you over the I don't know how long. All right. Anyway. Anyway, you guys are distracting me with all these questions. Listen, just let me get this out, and then I'll answer some of your questions, okay? So, like I said, Jesus equals 74, Lucifer equals 74, and there's a crown that they need to get, right? And Elvis represents Lucifer in heaven. What Elvis was like Lucifer in heaven, because Elvis is like, if you saw that Hawaii concert, I mean, the dude looked perfect, you know, and he and the fans were just crazy for him. Billions of people watched that concert. You know, it was satellite, sounds like Seattle lights, you get it? And it was, it was the first satellite concert by a solo performer. It was the biggest one ever at the time. Over a billion people saw that concert. And anyway, he's and in Lucifer in heaven had musical talent, and that's why he's like the Pied Piper, the peepee. The Pied Piper is the peepee, all right, which I've shown you why that's so important. Okay, and that's how he was able to lead. And what does the Pied Piper do? Lead people out, and that's what he did. He led the angels to get thrown out. Okay, and that's why we're here to take the place of the angels that were thrown out. Okay, that's why God created man on earth. Anyway, so I told you that the letter O, let me tell you what the letter O represents besides the most important thing, which is the crown. That's why it's like, oh God, oh Lord, because O is the crown. Okay, now hold on. All right, that's it. I told you I don't want to hear it. Go to another channel. Bye. Anyway, so where was I? So okay, so there needs. Okay, let me tell you what the crown is. Like I said, the letter O is a crown, right? It also can represent a head, like an oval shape, the face, an eye, your eye, or a ring, or an egg, because an egg is like birth, or a halo, which is again another like crown. And there was a few other things that it could represent, but the main thing is a crown. So the letter O represents a crown. Okay, now, so if you put a crown on 74, what would you get? What do you get when you put a crown on? Remember, the letter O represents a crown. The letter O is the 15th letter of the alphabet. 74. Remember, Jesus equals 74. Lucifer equals 74. 74 plus 15 is 89. You see what I'm saying? And look at the numbers. 7415, right? That's the numbers of God. 7154. Okay? And look, if you attach the 15 to the 4, 154, the 154th, I mean, the numbers 154 is the Antichrist number. And that's why I was showing you here that from Elvis's birthday to 611 is if you don't add the day, it's 154 days. But if you add the day, it's 155. And in a leap year, it's 156. See, this is what they want to remain. They want to get rid of the 155 and 156 and keep the 154, okay? Now, so again, what I'm trying to show you is that the crown, that Jesus equals 74, Lucifer equals 74, and I told you that this is my crown, and they're trying to, not they, but I'm saying Lucifer is trying to take it. Okay, I have my crown waiting for me in heaven. All I have to do is endure to the end. Okay, and if you think that's a coincidence, remember Trump is the 45th president, right? And where did I tell you he's going to get his head wound? In Ohio. Ohio's the 17th state. Trump is the 45th president. Ohio's the 17th state. You see, 45-17. Look at the numbers of God backwards. 4517. 4517. Same thing up here. 4517. 4517. 4517. You see what I'm saying? And that is Trump, 45th president, Ohio, 17th state. Same numbers. Okay? And by the way, how many days are in between Elvis's birthday and Trump's birthday? Watch this. If you don't add the day, but if you add the day, this is what it is. Look, between Elvis's birthday and June 14th, Trump's birthday, if you don't add the day, it's 4175, which is the same numbers you see up here, 4175. But if you add the day, then it's 4176. So I'm just saying that's a, great coincidence there, right? And oh man. Well, the 9 is the last letter, the last number before it goes to 0. Do you get what I'm saying? That's okay. I'll explain to you what the 9 is. Basically, it's you having a head. You see what I'm saying? It's the it's the backwards pee-pee. You know what I'm saying too? But what am I saying? The backwards? Yeah, it's the backwards pee-pee. But the 9, okay? And if you saw my videos about the 7-Eleven, thank heaven for 7-Eleven chart, then you know what I'm talking about all that. But hold on. But anyway, so remember, we're talking about so I was showing you that the 74 with a crown is 89, right? Yeah, I'm going to leave you up. If you ask me that question again, just watch the video. Don't ask me that question. All right? I'm talking to the one dude who just got in the chat who's asking a question. Anyway, that's what this video is for, to make you understand. All right, so what was I showing? Oh, okay. Now, remember that everything... Yeah. Well, you know why? Because a million trolls have been here doing the same thing you're doing. So that's why. So, okay, just watch the video. So you're lucky I didn't delete you, because I didn't even give a chance to the other people. I deleted them. So, listen. So, Washington, because, Seattle's in Washington State, right? Washington was the father of our country. That's what they say, right? So, if he's the starting point to all this, this Washington, you know what? Can you please stop with the Uranus talk? You're distracting me with that. All right? Come on. I'm talking some serious stuff here. Knock it off, all right? This is not the time for jokes right now, all right? This is serious stuff, okay? And if you're not taking it seriously, then please leave the channel, okay? Because don't make me ban you, all right? So Washington, he was they chose him to be the first president, supposedly, even though there was supposedly presidents before him, but they officially made him the president. And I've explained that even too, what that means. Because if he's the 15th president, really, instead of being the first, and he's actually a 15th, then that means that he had the crown number. You understand? Technically, you know. Hold on. Yeah, okay. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to put you guys on timeout. I had enough of this. You think that's funny, huh, when I'm being serious here? Hold on. I just put... Who else am I going to put on timeout? Here you go. I put both of you on timeout. Who else think that's funny? Here, let me see who else said that was funny. Hold on. I'm going to put you on timeout, too. And I don't care if you don't like it. Okay? I don't have time for nonsense, all right? So I put 3 people on timeout. Who else wants to go on timeout? Like a bunch of children. All right? Anyway, so what was I showing here? By the way, I didn't delete you from the channel. You're just on timeout, all right? If you're going to act like children, then you're going to be treated like one, okay? So Washington, they picked him to be the first one. So now remember, they changed the calendar from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. What did they do? They added 1 year and 11 days to okay, well, actually it's 1 year and 13 days if your birthday comes after March 1st. But it's 1 year 11 days if it's before March 1st. So that was added to the calendar, 1 year and 11 days, or 1 year and 13 days, depending on when you were born. So Washington's original birthday was 2/11/1731. And it got changed to 2/22/1732. Okay? So now, and 2/11 was the 42nd day of the year, and Elvis died at the age of 42, and Washington's the 42nd state. Okay? Now, and that's also the year Elvis died, when he died at 42. That's when Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown. Okay? Anyway, so this Washington, he's the... Hold on. Just wait till I finish this, and then we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, okay? But right now, just let me finish this part before you ask me any other questions. And ask the questions again, because I'll forget. So they changed the calendar, okay? They changed the calendar. Now, what is this right here? So they changed it from 2/11, like I said, and they added a year and 11 days if it's before February, before March. After March, it's 11. It's 1 year, 13 days they added. Now, so this is his birthday now that gets celebrated on 2/22/1732. Now, there must be some real significance to this, okay? And I'm going to show you why, because pay attention. You remember this equation that I showed you here? Oh, well, I better not. Yeah, let me not show that first. Let me just show you the equation. So from Washington's changed birthday, not his original birthday, to the changed birthday, 2/22/1732, to the day the Antichrist was born. The day the Antichrist was born, which is Elvis, to the day the Antichrist was born. Let's look at what that equation is. Now watch. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. Now, before I show you the real equation, let's just look at this for a minute. So, from February 22nd, Washington's changed birthday, 1732, to the day that Elvis Presley was born, him and the twin supposedly died. Look at this, 74/0/88. And I told you Elvis is 88 this year, right? But wait, 74 with a crown, then 88. Now, let me show you, before I show you the real equation, 74088, okay? Now, remember, hold on. I don't even want to show this, but because I have to make sure people understand why this is no joke, okay? In Roman numerals, pay attention here. I didn't want to show this, but I'm going to. So in Roman numerals, DCLXVI equals 666. These letters represent in Roman numerals. It equals 666 in Roman numerals, okay? Now, and I told you that, well, hold on, let me show, where is it? I don't have any more pieces of paper left. Hold on. That Elvis, his name, EL means God, VI means the letter 6 in Roman numerals. V and I, V is 5, I is 1, VI is 6. So he's got an S at the end. L6s. Get it? Sixes. Could mean 66, which is the word twin, 666, or 66, 66, and 666, 66. You understand? Okay? So, if Elvis is the 666 God, L666, right? Which is right in his name, right? So, and so you remember this equation that I showed, right? I don't know if you guys can see it again. No, you can't see. I have to show it one more time. I have to show it one more time. From Washington's birthday, the changed birthday, this was changed to this date, to Elvis's birthday, January 8th, is 74088. Okay? 74088. All right? Now, why am I showing the 74088? Pay attention. Okay? Remember, 74 with a crown, and then Elvis is 88. But wait, what? Remember, I told you Roman numerals DCLXVI equals 666, right? Now, if we were to put these letters into the gematria calculator, what would it equal? This is what it would equal. All right? Just hold on. And what I'm emphasizing is this number, okay? And then you'll see why. So this is what it would, DCLXVI, which is 666 in Roman numerals, this is what it equals. 74 forward, 88 backwards. And everything in between, it means O. Like anything in between means O. That's what that means. So 74 crown 88, right? And I told you that in between, and by the way, that DCLXVI equals the word Jewish. Jewish equals the word DCLXVI, same thing. So Elvis, from Washington's birthday, the changed birthday, to Elvis's date of birth, the day he was born, is 74088, right? Days. Now, but wait. If I can get this stupid thing to focus. Oh my God, I'm going to lose it, man. I'm going to lose it. So it's 74088. And I just showed you that equation for DCLXVI is 666. Okay? 7488 is the DX because the O doesn't count. So if it's 74088, you'll see where I'm going with this in a moment. And I just told you that 666, if you wrote into the gematria calculator, the Roman numerals for 666 is 7488, right? But what I didn't show you is from Washington's birthday, that equation I just showed you, that was not including the day. Okay? That was not including that day. Now I'm going to include the day and see what happens. You see? Now you get the true equation. There's your true equation right there. Look at that. From Washington's birthday, I've shown this before, folks. This is not nothing new. From Washington's birthday, the changed birthday to the day the Antichrist was born is 74089. Do you see it? 74089. And what did I just show you? What did I just show you? That 74, Jesus equals 74, Lucifer equals 74, with the crown, the 15 is 89. 74, 89. Okay? Do you understand what I'm talking about? 74 with a crown, 89. The O is the 15th letter. 74 plus the crown, 15, is 89. Okay? Okay? Do you understand that that everything, it's like I said, Elvis needs the 9, okay? All right, this is your last chance. Whoever wants to keep going with this, let me go back. Is anyone else talking nonsense? Let me see. Let's see if anybody else is talking nonsense. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I don't care if you followed me. I told you when I'm talking serious stuff, don't make jokes, all right? Understand etiquette, man. All right? Have some respect. That's all I'm saying to you. All right? Now I'm talking to you now. Now I'm talking to that person I just put on timeout again. Look, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I banned you for a reason. I don't want to get into it, all right? All right, so I'm not going to argue with you. I don't ban people for no reason, all right? Now, like I said, if you can't see what I just showed you, then I don't know what to tell you. Now, remember, look, folks, in the very near future, I'm going to be showing again how Elvis is connected to the 666, up and down, every which way. He is the 666, okay? Man, there was something that I just remembered, and now I can't. Man, this is unbelievable. There was just something that I saw. It came to my mind, but now, and I need to write it down, but I can't remember now what it is. Anyway, I don't even know if I have another piece of paper. Hold on. Hold on, folks. No, I have to read the chat, because if I don't read the chat, it's gonna make 1,000 what is it, 1,000 trolls and um, and um, and also, how am I going to answer some of the questions that people have if I don't read it? I can't go back and read it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to multitask, okay? You should be thanking me for it, not telling me not to do it. You should be saying thank you for putting in all this effort, okay? And I do it all for free, okay? So I don't understand how people complain when you're getting free, you know? It's like someone handing you something, and if you don't like it, you throw it in the trash. So if you don't like what I'm doing, then you throw it in the trash and move on. All right? Anyway, so remember, I was telling you that DCLXVI is Roman numerals 666. Those are the letters. Okay? Now, if you were to add Elvis to those letters and put it into the gematria calculator, what would it equal? Let me tell you what it would equal. It would equal hold on. Okay. Let me just make sure this is correct before I tell you, even though I know it is, but okay, just to show you, look, the DCLXVI is 666 in Roman numerals. Add Elvis, okay, add Elvis, and you get 141, 51, 192. This is the forward numbers, okay? I'm going to show you why that's important. This is the most important for right now. But these backwards numbers are very important because, look, the 15 is the crown, the O, right? The O is the 15th letter. Then you have 6, 6, 6. You see that? Okay, so even has the crown with the 666 with DCLXVI, which is 666, and Elvis, okay? EL and then VIS is 666. You get what I'm saying? It's sixes. But anyway, this is what's important right now. So if you add DCLXVI, which is 666 in Roman numerals, and the word Elvis, you get 141, 51, 192. Now, this is something I just showed not too long ago. But I mean, I showed the DCLXVI and Elvis, you know, that it all connects years ago. But this particular thing I just showed recently with this, just this one little thing that I'm showing here. You, hold on. You just ask yourself, now think about it. Man, you guys are lucky that I don't know what you guys are talking about right now, because I don't know where you are. You guys still talking about what I did earlier? All right. Oh wow. You guys are just wicked people, man. Wicked, some of you, man. It's like you don't have any compassion for anyone. You know, I'm trying to tell you not to distract the chat, and what do? You keep distracting more. You know, that's what I'm saying. You have no compassion. I told you, you know how difficult it is to do this and to do the live stream and to watch the screen for the questions and to watch the trolls. You understand? And you have no compassion. It shows that you're not truly being what a Christian would be like. Okay, I'm trying to have patience, but you guys, not when I say you guys, there's certain people. Okay, anyway, whatever. I don't want to hear it. I'm just telling you that you're not having any compassion. Okay, so again, let me just go back to what I was saying. If you want to keep going on, go ahead. So DCLXVI is 666 in Roman numerals. Add the name Elvis to DCLXVI and you get 141, 51, 192 in the front. Now, I'm gonna ask you this. Imagine, what is the only date out of the whole year, folks? What is the only date out of the whole year that equals 141, 51, 192, which is that first row? Which is that first row for Roman numeral 666, DCLXVI, and the word Elvis. 141, 51, 192. What is the only date that equals that in gematria? It is this date. Okay, now, which is, of course, I showed that, but I just want you to use your brain, man. How is this possible? Okay? It is this only date. Okay? Look. You see? June 11th. 141, 51, 192. Now, the backward numbers don't equal the same as DCLXVI Elvis, but this equals the same. The only date out of all the year, if you put into the gematria calculator, that equals that, because June 11th is the only one that equals this number. And of course, I showed you why 141 is so important, okay? But just what is the chance? What is the chance? Okay? That is the thing. Okay? Again, I told you, it is 1,000,000% that it's going to happen on those dates that I'm telling you. June 11th is the Seattle event, which is now going to happen next year, because I told you I just didn't know the year. But now when I look at the end, because I guess it's going to the end, okay? The end is when Elvis turned 89, which I just explained to you how he needs the 9, because Elvis was born on the 8th, he needs the 9, so it's the 89. Okay, now, so it has to happen on the dates. So June 11th next year, okay, like I said, I didn't know the year, but because now we know that he has to end with the 9. So, but the dates are absolutely perfect because it is from the Holy Spirit and you will see it manifest. Okay, that's why I've never stopped with the same dates, same predictions, nothing's changed. So again, Seattle event, June 11th next year, connecting to Elvis, connecting to the mark of the beast. Trump gets his head wound on August 4th in Ohio. Now, again, is it this year or next year? I still believe it's this year. And we pray, folks, pray that it happens this year. And when I say his head wound, I don't know if he's actually going to get a real head wound. We don't want to pray for anyone getting a head wound. But what I'm saying, we pray that that is the day that it happens, because when that happens, then people will listen about getting out of Seattle, because now nobody's going to listen to this. But if Trump gets his head wound on August 4th in Ohio, get ready for a mass exodus of any Christians. If you have any spiritual eyes or ears, they are going to fly out of Seattle. They'll grow wings and get out of there, okay? All right, do you understand? There is no way you can have this kind of stuff, okay? Connections. Where is it? Here, I'll play it for that person This is the guy from the Back to the Future director, okay? Listen to what he says.
Part 2, when Biff owns a casino and needs to put his name and his picture on everything, one of the inspirations for that was Mr. Trump.
So, some fans believe that Back to the Future predicted the 9/11 attack. Any truth to that, Bob?
Of course! Of course! We predicted everything. We predicted the assassination of John F. Kennedy years after.
That's another one. That's another one that's here.
Yeah, we predicted Elvis's death and his resurrection, which hasn't happened yet, but it will. No, we predicted Elvis's death and his resurrection, which hasn't happened yet, but it will. We predicted Elvis's death and his resurrection, which hasn't happened yet, but it will.
You see what I'm saying? That's the guy from Back to the Future, the writer. Like, there was another guy who was a writer. There was 2 writers. He was one of them. So if you think that these guys don't know what's coming, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, man. All right? Because I told you this was scripted. And I told you God uses, God uses, men to reveal these things, okay? Just like the holy men of God who wrote the Bible, okay? I mean, who wrote the books of the Bible, Anyway, God bless all of you. Listen to the people that I was getting mad at earlier. Listen, you don't understand what it's like to be on this side, okay? So that's why you have to have a little compassion, all right? Think about what you're doing if you're, you know what I mean? Too many jokes, too many this, too many that, you know what I mean? It annoys people. And like I said, I just can't keep having this, patience constantly. Sometimes you run out of patience, folks. You can't keep testing somebody. I'm just saying, think about it. Anyway, so don't get mad at me, all right? But to the people I banned, there's reasons why I banned these people, okay? They just pushed it too far, and they were sometimes, these people were trolling me before, so I'm not stupid with some of them, right? Anyway, yeah, it's just common courtesy, man. But anyway, folks, there's so much more, but especially this 666 thing to Elvis. I mean, literally, like I said, every single thing connects to Elvis with the 666. All right. And, man, earlier there was something that came up, man. It's driving me crazy. I saw something, and now I can't remember it because I want to write it down. No, it has to happen on those 2 dates. Please stop asking me, is there another date? I told you that the dates are perfect. All right, because those dates came supernatural. I told you the prediction dates. All right, and the only thing I didn't know was the year, and that's why I had to calculate the number of the beast. All right, so again, June 11th is the Seattle event, which obviously is going to happen next year. So June 11th, Seattle event next year, which somehow ties into the Mark of the Beast and to Elvis, okay? Sometime after the event. Now, it doesn't have to happen on that day, but I mean, the ritual has to happen on June 11th, but connecting to Elvis doesn't have to happen on that day. That's my point. But Seattle, June 11th next year, and Trump getting his head wound on August 4th, that still can happen this year. But if it doesn't, then you know it's next year. All right? It all has to happen before the next president takes office. Okay, that's what I've been saying for I don't know how many years now. But I had to take every year seriously, because if I don't, and then it happens, I didn't do my best to get people out of there. Do you understand? What if it did happen and I told everybody, oh no, don't worry about it. It might not happen this year. Oh yeah, just go ahead and stay there. Don't worry about it. And oh, and by the way, to anybody who did leave Seattle, and if you actually moved, which is incredible, and which is the greatest thing you ever did, the best thing you ever did is to get out of Seattle. But if you left for whatever, a couple of days or a day, you know what? If that little bit of money you spent is worth your life, then your life isn't worth much. That's all I'm saying. What I'm trying to tell you is that get out of Seattle, not just for one day, get out, period. Because what's coming, you want to be prepared for before that day shows up. So leave now, okay? Don't wait till that day and then you have nothing prepared. Leave now and get yourself somewhere else and be prepared there, because you can't prepare for nothing in Seattle because you're not going to have a place left, okay? So get out now. All right, get out. I hope that makes sense. Can somebody please tell me that you understood what I was saying in this video, folks? You know, did I make, it clear on what's going on here? Which of course I haven't shown the connections to the 9, but the 9 connects. Obviously, it connects to something they need, but it also connects to me. They need me. All right. I am the key that to them unlocks the crown. They need the crown. Okay. In order to survive. Do you understand? That's but they're not going to get it because the Bible's already written. They lose. They are not going to take my crown, and you are going to see that they're going to try. All right. And so you will all see it manifest before your eyes. That's right. Let no one take your crown. That's right. That's right. Don't let no one take your crown. Because think about it. It was Neo, because Neo, the abbreviation, I mean not the anagram is the word one, right? First of all, don't pay attention to the rest of the movies of the Neo, Matrix 1, 2, and 3. Matrix 2, 3, whatever. Forget that. What was the principle of the first one? What's the storyline? Who were they after? They were looking for the one, Neo, right? And what did Neo do? He broke the Matrix. Because once you saw the numbers flashing and everything, because he broke the Matrix, he was the key that they were looking for. There was 2 sets of people looking for him, right? They're looking the bad guys and the good guys, but really they're both bad guys because God already knows the outcome. He already knows who the one is. He's not searching for nobody. He's waiting for the one to wake up and come to his senses and become a spiritual person, which I'm saying to about me, because I was a wicked heathen all my life and wasn't doing the right thing. So my point is that Neo broke the Matrix. He was the key, all right? And that is what they need. And I am the Neo character because not only because I'm showing you what I'm calculating the number of the beast, but because this dude Neo, he's an American dude, like he looks like an American dude or whatever the heck a white guy looks like. You would never believe that he's born in Beirut, Lebanon, in the Middle East. And who was born in Beirut, Lebanon? I was. He was born in the same hospital as me, probably in the very next room or in the same hospital room. Do you understand? It might have been room 611. It might have been room 101 because that was the room number he had in the movie The Matrix. And the 26 prime is 101. Okay? And the word God equals 26. The 26 prime is 101. All right? Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, and by the way, when I first came to this country, there was a bunch of people on my block called the Hells Angels. Okay. Now, again, I ask you, I come to this country from Beirut, Lebanon, where Neo, the Matrix guy, is born. I come to this country, and what's the first thing we live on the block. Uh, well, everyone knows the name. I've mentioned a million times, but on the block I'm living is all these Hells Angels people. And guess what nationality they are? They're half Armenian, because I'm full Armenian, and the Armenians were the first Christians as a nation. So these Hells Angels were living on my block, and guess who? The one that was my age, he was like a year older than me. He was the one that I kind of associated with, but I wasn't like him. He was like this, you know, bad boy dude. And and he looks just like Keanu Reeves looks now. Like exact like face he had then. He probably still has that same face. I tried to get his picture up on the internet, find it somewhere. I found his name, but I couldn't find his image anywhere. I actually think he lives somewhere not too far from me now. I could probably, drive there if I had a car, But what I'm trying to say is that I actually want to call him up and see what he looks like now. But I bet you he probably looks exactly like Keanu Reeves right now. But then again, he was in prison for over 25 years, so who knows? He might have really had a hard time in prison, so who knows? Because he got caught for robbing a bank. It's crazy, dude. I told that story before. What is this? Uh, I'm Neo's elder. No, I don't think so. I think me and Neo are around the same age. Okay, last question. Someone's. What's your question? Hurry up and tell me. Well, there you go. Keanu. That's right. He's got the key in his name. That's a good one. Wait a minute. Why do you have ninth key? Key new, ninth key. Why is it ninth? Why do you say ninth key? Anyway, folks. Oh, nine means Nova or new? Okay. I'm not sure yet, but okay. Sounds pretty. Yeah, I'm reading your thing. Okay. Interesting. All right, folks. Anyway, God bless all of you. And to the people, listen, to the people I banned from the channel, you can just start, you can just start, you could just make a new channel and come back and troll me. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't pay any attention to the Matrix part 2, part 3, part 4. It's a bunch of nonsense. The point is, in the very first one, which is what grabbed my attention, okay, that was what the real story was, okay? Not real, when I say not everything was real, but just the fact that Neo is the one who breaks the Matrix. Yeah. Why am I funny? Tell me why I'm funny. Do I amuse you? Huh? Am I a clown? You talking to me? Why am I funny? I didn't say nothing funny. This was serious, man. What's funny? What are you doing? Why are you saying I'm funny? What was funny about what I was saying? Huh? You trying to upset me? What? You're lucky I don't ban you for saying that. Huh? Why are you saying I was funny? What did I say that was funny? Tell me. Don't cancel me. Now that's funny. That's funny. All right, anyway. Like I said, to the people I did ban, just be like the trolls and start a new channel and come back and don't be such a pain. All right? So if you think I if you think I deleted you for no reason, then just come back and just tell me, hey, you deleted me for no reason. Why'd you do that? Then I'll explain it. You know, let me know who you were, and I'll try and remember why I banned you. All right. Anyway, so God bless all of you. And if I banned you for no reason, I apologize. Okay, but again, you got to understand that I am very what's the word? I have so much on my plate that I cannot uh do things every time perfectly, folks. So I'm gonna make mistakes. So if I made by the way, if I made a mistake banning anyone, it was one person only. Okay, it was only one person. All right, so don't think I banned a bunch of people for no reason. I'm saying if it's just one person I banned, that was the no reason. You know. Yes, I'm passionate. That's right. No, you're not. Listen, someone's saying, "Are they banned?" I don't know. I don't know why you're saying I didn't answer your questions. What question did you have, man? See, this is what I mean. When the hell are you coming back on? What does that mean? I'm here talking for an hour and a half, and you're asking me when I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back as well. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be at this hotel or not. So the I don't know where I'm going to be back, where I'm going to be at. So that's why I have to figure out stuff. So I'm going to be busy maybe for, I don't know. I know for sure I'm not going to be back today. Okay. But maybe tomorrow, if I get a place to stay, if I have this hotel still, then I will do a live stream tomorrow. But if not, and I'm trying to find a place, I'm going to be, you know, busy. So anyway, God bless all of you. And like I said, for the people who are sticking with me, I'm going to tell you, we are all going to be vindicated. And you, like I said, this is uh man, how do I say this without sounding um man, let me just say it's going to happen. That's it. Okay, that's all you need to know. Just stick with it, endure to the end, and we are going to uh get the prize, okay, which is our crown in heaven. All right. Anyway, yeah, so the person saying something about coming to their home, God bless you. Appreciate it. Anyway, God bless all you. Jesus is God. End the video. I'll leave this video up. End the video. Man, I look like a monster. Hold on. I'm trying to. Man, there's no good. There's no good side. I was trying to find a good side. Anyway, end the video. Hold on. Wait a minute. want to make sure yeah, you know what? I was just about to end the video, and now you come in asking people if they want to buy if they have selling a camper. Look, folks, yeah, if anybody's selling a a van or one of those vans that have a high roof, if you have like one of those vans and you want to sell it to me for a really cheap price, but it's that it works really good. Yeah, I want to buy it from you. Or if you you want to not donate, because I can't accept donations, but if you want to give it to me for a real, you know the pigeon pecker price discount, the pigeon pecker price, the PPP, then yeah, I'm looking to buy a van. That way I can sleep in it. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks for the kind words. Anyway, yeah, so you don't have to put it now, but if you know anybody who's selling a really good camper, not camper, but a sleeper van, because the campers, you can't park just anywhere. I want to be able to park it anywhere, you know what I mean, and go to sleep in it. Anyway, all right, no more. Hey, look, I'm gonna give one more minute here. Do not make any more questions and finish your comments to each other, because I need to end this video. Okay? Yeah, no, not that kind of van. Yeah. No, you know what it is? Real quick, let me tell you why. Because the apartments where I'm at here in Glendale, California, a studio apartment is like $1,500 to $1,900. I don't have that kind of money. I can't afford it. So that's why I'm going to have to live in a van and then figure out where to take a shower every day. And because, if you join a gym, I can use the shower and the restrooms there. You know what I mean? But I have to go to a gym where they have multiple areas, where they are at, or whatever. I don't know. Wherever I'm going to be at, I'll go to that. I don't know what to do because it's too expensive. There's no way I can afford that. Anyway. All right. Anyway, God bless all of you. And anyway. All right. That's it. End it. All right. Yeah. Where do you, first of all, listen, I'm not saying I'm going to come there, but where do you live? Oh, in New Jersey? Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, and by the way, it's not that it's not a permanent thing, me being in the van. It's more of because I told you that, there's a reason why I'm not with my wife at the moment, is because I'm trying to explain to you that she has family living with her, and that's why we just don't mesh in there, me and her family. But anyway, God, but listen, pray for her, pray for my wife's family, and pray for my wife, and pray for me, okay? And pray for the people in the chat. God bless all of you, and Jesus is God. End of video. Make sure you watch, for the people who got in late, make sure you watch from the beginning, okay? Anyway, God bless all of you. End of video. Hold on. I have to get one person out. Okay. I love how these people put it at the last second to try and get it in. All right, God bless all of you. End of video. I deleted them, don't worry. End of video. Like I said, make sure you watch from the beginning, folks. All right? End of video.